Welcome everyone, we're back with another Cook with Jase episode. We've got a hard and fast one today. We've had a lot of vegetables flying at you for the first couple of episodes, but today we've got chicken, okay? We're gonna give you a quality protein source. This is something you can do in a bulk meal prep setting, but there's a couple of little things and tweaks I wanna show you along the way to get it cooking nice and quickly for you as well. And let's just pump up that flavour. So I've got a couple of decent sized chicken breasts here, got a whole lemon that we've halved. We've got some reduced sodium soy, some honey there, around about a good tablespoon, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt and some black pepper. So prepping this chicken. The thinner that this chicken is, the quicker it's going to cook. We won't need to seal it and then put it in the oven to cook through. I'm gonna show you a way to get it nice and thin, guys. So separate chopping board for chicken, guys, okay? It's a very much a safety thing, food safety, non-porous surface compared to what you've got with the wooden chip chopping board. So make sure, even though it's basic, it will do the job for us when we're handling raw chicken. So let me just move these aside so you can see how we're gonna do this. Okay, so chicken breast. We know that we've got a thicker side and a thinner side. We need to butterfly this, okay? So the best way to do that, have a small sharp knife. These ones here, Victorinox, are great, okay? They're cheap as chips and really, really effective at doing some fine work. So I want you to get the thicker side, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna essentially halve it from the center point out. So gradually, be very, very careful when you're doing this. Just let the knife do the work, okay? And essentially what you're doing is halving the thicker part, not cutting the whole way through, and it will just open that chicken up. And so we're a nice flat surface. So step number one, okay? I want to do that with both breasts. The same again, we'll find out, we know our thicker part is here, so we're going to butterfly the thicker part. So the breast out on the bench, let the knife do the work, and we want to halve through, okay? Being very, very careful here with our fingers. Definitely not a job that you want your kids doing, guys. Okay, so we've got a nice evenness going between these two breasts, but I want them thinner. How am I gonna do that? I'm gonna bash them. So just move this aside. Let me just quickly wash my hands. Always a good thing with raw chicken. So, it might seem a little bit anal to be able to wash your hands every time that I touch this, but I'm doing it for a reason, guys, okay? Food safety is not something to be joked about. What we've got is a layer of cling film. Let me grab out some tongs. Put both chicken breasts flat on your cling film. Then we want another layer of cling film. Now please make sure it's sealed around the edges. You'll understand why in a minute. Grab your favourite pan and go to town, all right? Flatten it out. This is how the best chicken schnitzels are made. You're drastically going to reduce the cooking time by doing this, which when we want fast and healthy meals is exactly what you want. Okay, so we're getting a nice evenness there. Try and get both breasts as even as possible so you've got an even cooking time. And we're good to go. So, you'll notice that I'm playing around with this and I'm not actually touching that raw chicken, so I don't have to keep washing my hands. Chuck this now into a bowl. Again, use those tongs that you were using before. Now we're going to add the flavour. It's a very simple Asian combination that we're going to use. Just sit this over here. Okay, so three tablespoons of reduced sodium soy. Heap tablespoon of a good quality honey. Good pinch of Himalayan salt. And we want to crack in some black pepper. This is something that you can marinate overnight and it will enhance that flavour. But honestly, we don't really need to, and especially when we want some speed. So, if you don't own a good quality microplane, get a fine one. I guarantee you it's worth its weight in gold. We just want to take the zest off these lemon pieces first. The zest is fantastic. A nice calorie-free way, similar to a herb and a spice, to add a lot of flavour. Now be careful to take off just the top layer of zest. Not going any further than that, because there is a bitterness that is underlying within that bottom layer there that's underneath the zest. So be very careful just to get what you want and nothing that you don't. There we go. And don't lose your lemon in there as well. Okay, so squeeze your lemon, cupping it through your hands, so just in case you get any seeds, we won't get that through the mix. All we need is the juice from half a lemon with this, guys. Very good. Okay, so it's a quick wash of the hands. Alrighty, now get your hands dirty. You want to really mix this through nice and thoroughly. So as I said, that marination of this is something that's really going to enhance the flavour. It'll develop overnight, but we're still going to get a very, very good hit. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we've got a nice even coating of all of these ingredients on both pieces of the chicken. We're going to cook that on a very, very high heat. And as we go, I'm going to pour over the marination juices. And you'll see just how much caramelization and flavour we get from that point. So we're ready to whack this on the heat. Okay, ready to go, guys. We want this nice and hot, okay? It's only very thin. We're basically going to flash fry it with this marinade. And guys, that's exactly the sound that you want to hear. So nice and high heat, yeah? Those flavours are just hitting in the face right about now. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's a great way to cook chicken this way. Traditionally, if you had the whole chicken breast, what you'd be doing, because it's a much thicker piece, you would sear it on both sides, and then before it actually started catching and burning, you'd then take that pan. If you've got a pan that can actually go into the oven, you'll be able to then bake it and would actually cook the rest of the way through for you. And that's exactly what you want, okay? It is a great way to kind of save going too far on the outside of your chicken, but please make sure that you're very careful when you get that pan out of the oven. I've done it so many times, and the handle, regardless of whether it's one of those heat-proof handles, it gets hot, okay? So you get a nasty burn. So now's the time. Really want to put on the rest of that marinade over the top. And that there is really going to add so much flavour. And this is what I want, guys. I want you to do this in bulk. So when we're cooking proteins, it's the same as I've mentioned in the other videos. You don't have as long a lifespan, okay, with proteins when you're actually having them in a bulk preparation method, because anything with a higher water content and a higher protein content is subject to microbial growth a lot more than any of the other foods that we've prepared. So please, even if you get something fresh, try and keep it around about your 3-day mark, potentially 4 days if it's really, really fresh. But the longer you leave it, the more you're running the gauntlet, really. The funny thing about food safety, actually, a shout out to RJ up there at Port Macquarie, one of my good mates. He told me a story that he ran the gauntlet and ate some kangaroo mince. That was around about a month out of date. So he still lives to tell the story, you know, so you know, it wasn't too much. And look at that, guys, that's beautiful colour. It's exactly what we're after. But it's about being smart with that, guys. Food poisoning is no joke. You can get really, really crook, and it's the same thing with the raw chicken as well. please wash your hands thoroughly, okay? Wash your boards, wash your knives and utensils as well. This is okay because we've gone straight into the cooking process with it, but honestly, anything else, be very, very strict with it. And it's something to instill in your kids as well. So this is great. Hopefully you can see this in the pan now. We've got a good amount of caramelization happening on. That's just pure flavour, guys. So keep moving that chicken around to pick that up. So you can pair this with our salad base. You can do some quick stir fry vegetables and keep that sort of Asian theme. But there's nothing nicer than coming home and knowing that your meal's prepared, and this is what it's going to allow you to do, guys. So we're almost there. So the best way to not overcook this. It's like any meat, I want to rest it. So I'm going to pull it off the heat, I'm going to whack it onto a plate, I'm going to rest it for a little bit, and after that, we'll be back and we'll show you the final result. And there we have it, guys. Honey, soy, and lemon chicken. This is something that, again, you can do in a bulk meal prep. It is packed full of flavour. I tell you what, the production crew is going to get into this and I'm not going to get much of it at all, but try this. It's a game changer and it's something that's going to save you time and you're going to fall in love with it again, guys. Fall in love with food. Learn to cook the right way. Use food as your fuel and really be sure to tune in for the next Cook with Jase. It'll be coming up very soon.